Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine if, like, all those feelings swirling inside your head, pure joy, that nagging fear, maybe some simmering anger. What if they were actually a team of tiny characters running the show?
Uh-huh.
We're talking, of course, about the brilliant world of Inside Out, and today we're doing a deep dive into the sequel, Inside Out 2.
Yeah, and it's really fascinating how the film takes something we all understand, our emotions, and just visualizes them so inventively. It's quite something.
Totally.
And for this deep dive, we're working from a stack of really great sources you've pulled together: production notes, box office breakdowns, critical reviews, the lot.
Right.
Our mission, really, is to pull out the key insights, the most important bits, basically giving you a shortcut to being really well-informed about this movie phenomenon.
And honestly, there's some surprising facts in here and enough humor to keep you hooked. Because, let's face it, understanding our own minds has never been quite this fun. We're going to explore how Pixar didn't just revisit this world, but actually expanded it, bringing in new emotions as Riley hits, well, the lovely roller coaster of adolescence.
That's the key, isn't it? Adolescence.
Exactly. You'll hear about the film's massive box office success, what the critics thought, and some of the intense behind-the-scenes stuff that brought this complex story to life. So what's the takeaway here? Let's jump in.
Okay.
So our journey starts with the basic premise. Where do we find Riley now? 2 years have passed since the first movie, right?
Yeah, exactly. Riley Anderson is 13 now. She's not that 11-year-old anymore, dealing with the move. Now she's facing something arguably much bigger, much scarier for a lot of kids. The leap into high school.
High school. Yep, I remember that feeling.
And that age 13, it's just the perfect storm for the kind of emotional upheaval the film gets into. Her immediate goal, the thing driving the plot on the outside, is this 3-day ice hockey camp.
The hockey camp.
Right. It's not just about playing hockey, though. It's crucial. She needs to impress the coach to get onto her new high school's team, the Firehawks.
That's a lot of pressure for a 13-year-old.
Huge pressure. Because it's about identity, fitting in, finding her place. Especially since her best friends, Bree and Grace, they're going to a different high school.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that adds another layer of stress.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And all that external pressure, it translates directly into, well, chaos inside her head.
And it is chaos. Remember that little red puberty button from the end of the first movie?
Yeah.
Kind of a throwaway gag then.
Yeah, I do.
Well, here, it's not a gag. It goes off, like full alarm klaxon the night before camp. It signals this massive involuntary change.
Everything gets disrupted.
Totally. Inside Riley's mind, the mind workers suddenly get this order: upgrade the console. And it's not neat. It's messy, forced. Headquarters is left in total disarray.
It captures that feeling so well, doesn't it? That sense that your inner world is just suddenly changing without your permission, and everything feels off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you? Like remembering being a teenager or watching kids go through it? That sudden internal shift.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling where the way you used to handle things, the way you understood yourself, it just stops working.
Yeah.
And that's what this messy console represents. The original emotions, joy, sadness, anger, fear, disgust. They thought they had a pretty good system going.
They were doing okay.
Right. But now, any input they try just causes this massive overreaction from Riley. Their old methods, suddenly useless, puberty's kicking in, and it's clear Riley needs more than just those 5 to cope.
And they really did have a system, didn't they? Joy especially. She'd even developed this thing called the sense of self.
Ah, yes, the sense of self. Tell us about that.
It's like this glowing strand, almost like DNA, holding all the core memories and feelings that make Riley, her beliefs about who she is. And Joy, being Joy in her optimistic way, even made this mechanism to shoot the bad memories to the back of Riley's mind.
Trying to keep it purely positive.
Exactly. Her goal was to keep that sense of self shiny and happy. A perfectly well-adjusted Riley engineered by Joy.
And that detail is so crucial. Joy's strategy of suppressing the negative, it really sets up the whole conflict.
Oh, so?
Because even before the new emotions arrive, the old crew finds their methods aren't working. Riley's overreacting. Joy's attempt to curate a purely positive identity, it's about to clash head-on with a bunch of new, complex feelings that need to be integrated, not pushed away.
Ah, okay, so the system was already under strain.
Definitely. The stage is perfectly set for the uninvited guests.
Uninvited is right. They don't just knock politely. Let's talk about the new emotions who basically crash the party in headquarters.
Crash is a good word for it. They burst in, disrupt everything. The main 4 new arrivals are anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and ennui.
Quite the crew.
And right away, they clash with the originals, especially Joy. Their whole approach is different. Joy wants Riley to have fun at camp, connect with her friends.
Yeah, keep things light.
But anxiety, she's laser focused on the future, winning a spot on the team, making new popular friends, especially since Bree and Grace won't be at her high school. It's all about securing Riley's social standing.
You feel that tension instantly. And anxiety, voiced so brilliantly by Maya Hawke, she really becomes the driving force, doesn't she?
Absolutely. Her goal seems well-intentioned: protect Riley, avoid bad outcomes, ensure success.
Seems being the operative word.
Right, because her methods become chaotic, controlling, overwhelming. It's that classic anxiety spiral, trying so hard to control things that it actually makes everything worse.
It's such a powerful portrayal of how anxiety works.
Yeah.
That protective instinct gone haywire.
And think about them arriving as a group. It's not just one new feeling Riley has to deal with.
No, it's a whole team.
Exactly. It reflects how complex adolescence is. It's this sudden flood of new perspectives, self-consciousness, social pressures all hitting at once. It fundamentally challenges that simpler 5 emotions system they had before. Growing up isn't just adding feelings, it's like a total system reboot.
A very messy, chaotic reboot.
Yeah.
And the way they design these new emotions is just perfect. Let's get into each of them a bit more.
Okay.
Let's start with anxiety, that orange, high-strung bundle of nerves. Always catastrophizing.
Voiced by Maya Hawke, you mentioned. Apparently her audition was incredibly moving.
Yeah, brought the director to tears, the notes say. And get this, her look, that frantic energy. Inspired by the movie Uncut Gems.
Oh, wow, really? You can totally see that relentless, high-stakes feeling.
Totally. It perfectly embodies that anxious mind state.
It's really clever design.
Yeah.
Then you have Envy, voiced by Ayo Edebiri. She's tiny, cyan-colored.
What's her specific job?
Her role is subtle but powerful. She makes Riley want what others have. It's not malicious, more aspirational, but rooted in comparison. That feeling of, I wish I had that, whether it's skill, popularity, whatever.
Ah, okay. The comparison engine. Very teenage.
Very. And then Ennui. Indigo color, brought to life by Adele Exarchopoulos with that perfect French accent.
Oh, she's brilliant. The embodiment of whatever.
Exactly. Boredom, apathy, deflecting anything uncomfortable with sarcasm, or just zoning out. Some critics apparently singled her out as a highlight.
I can see why. She's hilarious, but also painfully relatable, if you remember being that age. Or, sometimes now.
Huh. True. And it makes you think, what's the function of boredom or apathy in our emotional landscape? It's about disengagement, right?
Yeah, protecting yourself, maybe. And then there's embarrassment. Big, pink, kind of sweet.
Voiced by Paul Walter Hauser. And his design is just perfect. He hides his face in his hoodie whenever Riley feels mortified.
That urge to just disappear. He nails it.
He does. That overwhelming awkwardness personified. He's almost like a comforting presence in those awful moments, strangely enough.
And we can't forget nostalgia. June Squibb voicing her.
Ah, yes. Nostalgia. Beige-toned, fondly remembering the past.
But she shows up way too early for Riley. Like she's 13, was she nostalgic for last week?
Exactly. The other new emotions keep sending her downstairs. It's funny, but it also shows how even nice emotions can be out of sync at certain ages. Riley doesn't need nostalgia yet. She needs to deal with the present.
So thinking about all these new guys, which one resonates most with you? Thinking back to your teenage years. Or even now. Ennui definitely rings a bell for me.
Oh, I think anxiety probably hit closest to home for me back then. That constant low-level hum of worry about the future. But ennui is definitely relatable, too.
Yeah. It's fascinating how they immediately find their roles, which brings us to a really major plot point. The hijacking of the sense of self.
Right. This isn't just about temporary feelings. It's about Riley's core identity. Anxiety gets this idea that Riley needs to change to survive high school, to fit in.
And she doesn't just suggest it. She takes action. Drastic action.
Drastic is the word. She literally launches Riley's original sense of self, that glowing strand representing who Riley thought she was, to the back of the mind. Like, it's obsolete.
Wow. Tosses it out.
And then she has the original 5 emotions: joy, sadness, anger, fear, disgust, bottled up, physically contained and thrown into a memory vault far away.
It's a full-on coup. Anxiety takes complete control. It shows how powerful that feeling can be, just silencing everything else.
And what's really insightful is how the new emotions, led by anxiety, then start building a new sense of self for Riley.
What's this new one based on?
It's built on fear, inadequacy, the need for external validation. And this directly drives Riley's actions in the real world. She starts ditching her old friends, Bree and Grace, to try and impress the popular hockey player, Val Ortiz.
Ah, okay. So the internal shift directly causes that change in behavior.
Yep.
Trying to be someone she thinks she should be.
Exactly. It shows the cost of letting anxiety run the show. You lose your authentic connections, your genuine self, in pursuit of this idealized, safe image.
It's so different from what Joy was doing before, just pushing bad memories away. Anxiety isn't just suppressing, she's actively replacing Riley's core identity.
Right. It's replacing authenticity with performance, driven by fear. It highlights that difference between managing an emotion and letting it completely take over your whole identity.
Which, naturally, leads to the old guard needing to make a comeback.
Yeah.
They can't just stay locked up.
No way. Trapped in the vault, they start this desperate quest to get back to headquarters and reclaim Riley's mind. It's like a physical journey representing Riley's internal fight to find herself again.
And Joy leads the charge, of course.
Yeah.
She's determined. They escape the vault, and they need to find the old sense of self.
And where do they find it?
Ironically, it's sitting on this huge mountain of discarded bad memories. The very ones Joy herself dumped there earlier.
Uh-huh. Poetic justice.
Totally. And here, sadness plays a really interesting role. She doesn't go on the long trek back.
What does she do?
Joy sends her back to headquarters alone, but with a two-way radio, a lifeline. And sadness eventually finds an unlikely helper in Embarrassment.
Embarrassment helps her.
He helps her stay hidden in headquarters, so she can relay information back to Joy without anxiety knowing. That's a great little moment showing how even supposedly negative emotions can work together. They all have value.
That's a fantastic detail. But anxiety finds out, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. She overhears Joy's plan on the radio, and her reaction? Pure anxiety.
She retaliates?
Immediately. Destroys the recall tube, trapping Joy and the others out in the back of the mind. It ramps up the tension massively.
So how do they get back?
In this amazing climactic moment, Joy makes a really bold move. She blows up the cliff face made of all those bad memories.
Whoa.
And uses the avalanche, the cascade of all these memories, good and bad, to literally ride a wave back to headquarters.
That sounds visually spectacular.
It is. It perfectly shows the struggle, the effort it takes to fight back against an overwhelming emotional takeover. That feeling of being trapped and the desperate fight to reclaim yourself.
A really powerful metaphor for regaining your sense of self.
Absolutely. And that whole journey back sets up the climax, where the film really lands its core message about embracing complexity. But first, things get worse for Riley.
Right, because anxiety's plan, despite her intentions, it completely backfires.
Massively. The new sense of self she built, it's not confident or successful. It's riddled with self-doubt, inferiority.
And this internal state spills out very publicly.
Yeah, right during the final hockey tryout match. The moment anxiety was trying to control perfectly, Riley finds out from the coach's notebook that she isn't considered ready for the team.
Ouch, that's devastating for her.
Totally. And fueled by anxiety's panic, she plays terribly, crashes into Grace, one of her best friends, and gets sent to the penalty box. It's just this public meltdown.
And how does anxiety react to her plan failing so spectacularly?
She completely loses it, swarms the console in this blinding whirlwind of panic, just pure overload.
Leading to Riley having
a full-blown panic attack. It's intense, visually powerful, and so relatable for anyone who's felt that overwhelming loss of control.
It's a really raw and honest depiction of anxiety reaching its peak.
It is. Heartbreaking, but it's the turning point. Because Joy finally makes it back. She confronts anxiety, who's just paralyzed by stress and failure.
Is it a big fight?
Not really a fight, more. An intervention. A moment of real emotional maturity. Joy tells anxiety something crucial.
What's the message?
That Riley doesn't need to change to have a good future. And this is key. No single emotion, not joy, not anxiety, gets to decide who Riley is.
Ah, that's powerful. It's not about choosing one feeling over others.
Exactly. And then Joy does something symbolic. She takes the first sense of self, the one she tried to keep purely positive, and just removes it. Lets it go.
Making space for something new.
Exactly. Allowing a new, integrated sense of self to form. One built from all of Riley's memories, the good, the bad, the joyful, the anxious, everything.
Integration. That's the key word.
Yes. And all 9 emotions, the original 5, the new 4, they embrace this third self, this more complex, more complete identity. It resolves the conflict by showing that well-being comes from accepting the whole messy mix, not just chasing happiness.
It's realizing that sadness, anger, fear, anxiety, they all have a role to play in making us who we are. They're not enemies to be defeated.
Precisely. And you see the result immediately in Riley. She calms down. She genuinely apologizes to Bree and Grace. Finishes her tryouts, not perfectly, but authentically.
And the ending shows her
Befriending Val and the other Firehawks, but also keeping her old friends. It's not either. And inside, the 9 emotions are working together more balanced, protecting Riley in harmony.
It's such a profound message. To integrate all your feelings, even the tough ones, to become stronger and more real. It really makes you think about your own inner team, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. What a journey for Riley. And, the journey to actually make this film sounds pretty intense, too.
Oh, yeah. The behind-the-scenes story is fascinating. Development officially started in early 2020, but Pete Docter, the original director, had ideas brewing way back in 2016.
So it's percolating for a while.
Definitely. And the director of this one, Kelsey Mann, apparently drew inspiration from his own childhood birthday photos. That feeling of rapid change as you grow up.
That's cool. Very personal.
And they really committed to getting the psychology right. Mann and the writer, Meg LaFave, consulted heavily with clinical psychologists, Lisa Damour, Datra Keltner. Keltner worked on the first film, too.
What kind of input did the psychologists have?
They helped make sure the depiction of adolescent emotions felt accurate. Keltner was apparently key in choosing which new emotions made the cut. He even argued against including shame as a core new emotion, which led to it being removed. So lots of thought went into that lineup.
Interesting. And they talked to actual teenagers, too, right? Riley's crew.
Yeah. A group of 9 teens gave feedback to make sure it felt authentic to kids today. They apparently influenced scenes, the whole middle school to high school transition vibe.
Smart move. Did they consider other emotions?
Oh, yeah. Initially, Mann apparently played with 9 new emotions, including things like schadenfreude, jealousy, guilt.
Schadenfreude. Wow, that would have been something.
Right. But they streamlined it for clarity, though interestingly, some aspects of guilt, like carrying baggage, got folded into anxiety's character.
Makes sense. So anxiety carries even more weight.
Literally.
Yeah.
And the production itself faced huge hurdles. The sources talk about the largest crunch in the studio's history because of the 2023 writers and actors strike.
Oh, right. That impacted everything.
Hugely. But Pixar was apparently adamant about keeping the release date, which meant immense pressure. Last-minute changes.
Like what?
Reports say Pete Docter himself had to step in as an uncredited co-director and even animated a key moment himself to get it done on time.
Wow. That's dedication. Shows how much they believed in it.
Absolutely. Creative passion under immense pressure.
And the voices bringing these characters to life. Obviously, Amy Poehler back as Joy.
Yeah, iconic. Reportedly got $5 million plus bonuses. Phyllis Smith as Sadness, Louis Black as Anger. That core trio is back.
But not Fear and Disgust. They were recast.
That's correct. Tony Hale took over from Bill Hader as Fear, and Liza Lapira replaced Mindy Kaling as Disgust.
Why the change?
The sources point to pay disputes. Reports suggest Hader and Kaling were offered significantly less than Poehler, around $100,000 each, and negotiations fell through. It shines a light on those tricky contract realities.
Yeah. Interesting dynamic. And Riley herself has a new voice.
Yes, Kensington Tallman voices the 13-year-old Riley, capturing that adolescent shift.
And the supporting cast sounds great, too. Diane Lane and Kyle MacLachlan back as Mom and Dad.
Yep. And the new voices. Io Edebiri for Envy, Adele Exarchopoulos for Ennui, Paul Walter Hauser for Embarrassment, plus Lillimore as Val, Grace Liu, Samaya Nuruddin Green as the friends, Yvette Nicole Brown as the coach.
And John Ratzenberger, he's back.
He is! As Fritz, his first Pixar role since Onward. A nice little Easter egg for fans.
Definitely. And there was a milestone with the music, too, wasn't there?
A really significant one. Andrea Dasman became the first woman ever to score a Pixar feature film. That's a big deal in the industry.
That's fantastic. Breaking new ground there, too.
Yeah.
So how did all this effort land with critics and audiences? Sounds like it was pretty well received overall.
Overwhelmingly positive, yes. On Rotten Tomatoes, it got a 91% score from critics. The consensus praised its emotional intelligence. Metacritic gave it a 73, indicating generally favorable reviews.
Pretty solid from the critics, then. What about audiences? Did they love it as much as the first one?
Remarkably, yes. CinemaScore gave it an A grade, same as the first film, which is really hard for a sequel to achieve. Post-track audiences gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and 71% said they definitely recommend it. Huge audience embrace.
Wow. So people really connected with it. What specifically did critics praise?
The animation, obviously stunning. The storyline, how they introduced the new emotions, the wit. Maya Hawke as Anxiety and Adele Exarchopoulos as Ennui got a lot of specific praise for their performances.
They were definite standouts. Were there any criticisms, though? Anything people didn't like as much?
Yeah, for balance, some critics felt parts were a bit rushed, maybe lacking the deep soul of the original. A few found the external plot, the hockey tryouts, a bit predictable.
Okay, fair enough.
And some reviewers felt the lessons learned were maybe too similar to the first film, leading a few to kind of grumble about it, feeling like a bit of a cash grab, even though it was clearly a massive success.
Right, so even with huge acclaim, there are always different perspectives.
Exactly. It shows that even with a beloved film, there's room for nuance in the critique. But these were relatively minor notes in the face of, well, the box office phenomenon it became.
Phenomenon is definitely the word. Let's talk numbers, because they are staggering.
They really are. Budget was $200 million. It grossed, wait for it, $1.699 billion worldwide.
Billion. Wow.
With a B. Net profit estimated around $650 million. Made it the most profitable film of 2024 by far. It wasn't just a hit, it was a juggernaut. A massive comeback for Pixar at the box office.
A comeback they probably needed after a few films didn't hit quite as hard theatrically.
Precisely. Domestically, it had the highest opening weekend of 2024, $154.2 million. First film that year to open over $100 million. It instantly changed the narrative around Pixar's box office draw.
And globally, how would it launch?
Biggest worldwide debut in Pixar history, $294.2 million right off the bat, and then it hit $1 billion globally in just 19 days.
19 days, that's incredibly fast.
Tied the Lion King remake for the fastest animated film to hit that mark. Just astonishing speed.
So did it break Pixar's own records?
Smashed them. Highest grossing Pixar film ever, globally, beating Incredibles 2. Also became the highest grossing animated film ever domestically, again beating Incredibles 2.
So king of the hill for Pixar now.
Yep. And for a time, it was the highest grossing film ever under the main Walt Disney Pictures banner globally. A Chinese film, Ne Zha 2, eventually passed it, but Inside Out 2 remains the highest grossing American-made animated film of all time.
Just incredible reach. Were there specific reasons analysts pointed to for this massive success beyond just being a good movie?
Well, partly timing things like heat waves and bad weather did drive people into air-conditioned cinemas, but it also had amazing staying power. Great weekday numbers, record grosses on certain days like Juneteenth.
Suggests strong word of mouth.
Absolutely, and really broad appeal. Apparently, 36% of its opening weekend audience in the U.S. identified as Hispanic or Latino, showing it really connected across different communities.
That's significant. And all this success means sequels, spin-offs.
Well, the sources say discussions for Inside Out 3 are already happening at Pixar. This kind of success almost guarantees they'll revisit this world. Which makes you wonder, what's next for Riley? What happens when she gets older?
College, first job, relationships. The emotional landscape just keeps getting more complex, doesn't it? It's a question for all of us, really. Well, what a journey that was. We really got deep into Riley's head, saw those new emotions shake things up, and watched her figure out how to integrate everything. It's just classic Pixar, taking these abstract internal things and making them so visual, so relatable, so meaningful.
It really is. And this deep dive into Inside Out 2 just hammers home that idea. Growing up isn't about erasing parts of yourself or becoming some perfect version. It's about expanding, accepting the whole mix, learning to navigate all the feelings.
Yeah.
The film shows us even anxiety, which feels awful, has a role, maybe a protective one, even if it goes overboard sometimes. They all contribute to making us who we are, resilient and complex.
And maybe that is the magic, right? That the messy, chaotic, sometimes contradictory stuff inside our heads, that's not a flaw, that's just us. It really makes you think. If Riley keeps evolving, and we all do, what other feelings might be waiting down the road for her, for you? What other parts of our minds are left to explore as life throws new things at us?
That is a truly thought-provoking question to leave everyone with, reflecting on your own inner headquarters.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.